Lawyer and presidential candidate Chancellor Tiawan Saye Gongloe has accused the Boakai-led government of selling Liberian jobs to the highest bidder. He says that there is a company in Liberia that is issuing work and resident permits to people, and that company is a foreign company. He also alleged that there is a Slovenian and Turkish nationals that are in the country, and they are working in a foreign company in positions that are supposed to be occupied by Liberian nationals. And he said that this practice, was started in the George Weah regime, and he anticipated and thought that the Boakai regime was gonna, take a U-turn from that practice, but he is surprised and disappointed that the Boakai administration have actually, keep pushing the behavior or the malpractice forward, continuing it. Now, this is a huge allegation, and Chancellor Tiawan Saye Gongloe is one of those politicians that I have a huge amount of respect for. Just to say the least, he is one of those that I don't have any dirt on. Like, I have nothing but respect and admiration and aspiration for him, right? So when he says things like this, I definitely have to pay attention. Like I have to listen and I have to check on it and try to understand. Now, these allegations are very, very major, right? They are very, very big, but they sound like something that can happen in Liberia. We have heard a lot of, outrageous, claims or accusations, and they all were true, right? So, and yeah, especially since it's coming from someone with the background and the record and reputation of Chancellor, Saye Gongloe, you have to somewhat, respect it. Understandably, I'm not saying that it is a fact, but I'm saying that, it is trustworthy. It's something that, that will cause anybody in their right mind, some type of attention. If this is true, like I say, if this is 100% true, then this is a disaster. This is a complete disaster. As I've already said over and over, the Boakai administration is somewhat a relief from the previous administration. The difference is not very big, but there is a margin, and it's a relief a little bit, and because when we look at the case of corruption, the fight against corruption, and we look at some type of even the reduction of the U.S. dollars rate against the Liberian dollar right now. This is something that have not happened in God knows how long, right? There have been some type of steps that have been made by the Boakai administration that kind of give you a little bit breathing room. Even a couple of days ago, I'm saying, even yesterday, it was the conclusion of the first Liberia Diaspora Conference, held in the United States. These are steps, these are things that, the Boakai administration has, has engaged in that is somewhat, an element or tool that we use to, alleviate ourselves from the chokehold that we were in. So when I hear something like this, coming from a very, very credible source, like, Chancellor Tiawan Saye Gongloe, it worries me a lot. This is a huge problem. This is a big problem. If this is true, then this means that we are in a big, big, big trouble as a country. If anybody can just buy any of our job, rather, maybe you will say that, oh, not all the jobs that get certain jobs. If there is a foreign company in Liberia that is issuing work and resident permit, then what are we? Can we even call ourselves a government? Is that a government? Right? You have Slovenian and Turkish national occupying a position in a company that's supposed to be occupied by Liberian nationals. What type of money does somebody have to pay to allow that kind of nonsense to happen? Right? No matter what happened, there are certain positions that cannot be occupied by foreign nationals. It's just that simple, no matter what. And this is what makes other countries different from us, because they hold on to their laws and to their policies. They never let go of them. But for us, it is very, very easy for us to to hold on to things like that. Now, my judgment here is that I have no evidence. I have no evidence, but if I'm going to side with anybody on this, Because if Boakai was here right now, I asked Boakai and I asked, Gongloe, Boakai would say, no, that is not true. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if I have to choose right now between those two people, like who is saying the truth about this, I'm definitely going with Gongloe. I will tell you that I have a feeling that he is right. This kinds of accusation is so deep. Like if you don't have any type of understanding of what is going on, like what is what, he did not call any company name, he did not call anybody name, but he said that there is a company in Liberia that issues work and resident permits. That is a foreign company. And he said that there is a Turkish national and a Slovenian national that are working for a foreign company occupying a position that's supposed to be occupied by a Liberian national. This is the evidence to tell you that people pay money to occupy to get jobs. Recently, the executive mansion, put out a public warning, saying that they are not giving jobs to people. So if anybody call people to say, oh, the executive mansion is offering you a job, but you have to pay certain money, don't accept. Why would you post something up like that? So people has been calling other people, telling them that, oh yeah, executive mansion is calling you, but you need to pay so and so money. Is that something that have been happening? What gave people the authority or even the confidence to even do such a stupid thing, right? I never hear of something like that happening during George Weah time. As bad as it was, you can talk all the bad thing about it, but I never hear anything like that happening. Like people calling, from the executive mansion offering jobs to people for money. That the executive mansion have to put a public warning out there to say that if anybody call you, tell you say they're giving money, you have to, tell you that you have to pay certain amount of money to get a certain job. Don't take it, don't do it. And just days after, or maybe at least a week after, Chancellor Gongloe is coming out with this claim or with this, accusation. And to be frank, like I said, I trust him. And I trust him until I have a reason not to. And I'm not just going to stop there. Just because I trust him doesn't mean I will just stop there. I'm going to do my little investigation. We're going to get to the bottom of this. We'll definitely address the same, topic in a very short period of time. I'm going to do my investigation to see that if I can find this company and if I can have the names of those two nationals that, Chancellor Gongloe mentioned, and then we'll definitely get back to the same topic here and readdress it one more time. But again, once again, if this is true, which I believe that it is, then we are doomed. Like we are doomed. What are we doing? It's like taking one step forward but taking two steps backward. If this is true, there is a big fire on the mountain.
Like, follow, and subscribe.